Today I'm going to talk to you about putting a stop to child pageants because it is a form of child abuse. Just imagine a little girl screaming because her mother is spraying on her tan, shoving in fake teeth, and pulling her hair into tight curls. And then when she goes on stage and doesn't win, she puts her in timeout or spanks her and tells her that she's not beautiful because she doesn't have a crown or a trophy to prove it. My name is Addie Martin, and I'm going to talk to you guys today about why we should put a stop to child pageants. First, I'm going to tell you the need for these children and why they shouldn't be in these pageants, and then I'm going to tell you how we can put a stop to it. And lastly, I will help you visualize the result of eliminating these pageants. I'm going to begin by telling you a little bit about these little girls, because they are in fact innocent little girls that have been turned into divas or put in these costumes and turned into these young women when they're supposed to be little girls. Pageants are no longer for women such as this. This is Miss Tennessee from 2013, I believe. And they've turned into, this was intelligence and beauty and a representation of a state. And then it's turned into something like this, which is a little girl spray painted and drowned in makeup, pretending that she's beautiful because of the world that she says that she is. The first pageant I want to talk to you about is the Miss Tennessee Charm Top Model Beauty and Pageant Expo. And this pageant is here in Tennessee, and it hosts a pageant for ages 0 to 20 years old, and it judges them on their most charming, best dressed, best personality, most beautiful, and best model, ages 0 to 20. How do you judge? My question is, how do you judge a young child on whether she's beautiful or not, and whether she has a great personality when she's 5 months old? The next pageant I want to talk to you about is the Miss Fairest of the Fair pageant. It is sponsored by the Tennessee Association of Fairs, and it awards women and girls on being the fairest. And it also goes from ages 0 to 20 years old. The baby girl fairest, as you see right here, she's judged on attractiveness, poise, and personality. And she is required to wear a long pageant dress. The Miss Fairest is between the ages of 16 and 20 years old, and she is judged on beauty, poise, and personality as well. So you can tell these two categories are judged on the same scale, and one is 0 to 35 months and one is 16 to 20. The next pageant I want to talk to you about is the Miss Tennessee pageant. We also have baby Miss Tennessee and toddler Miss Tennessee, and they're judged on the same scale as the Little Miss Tennessee and the Miss Preteen Tennessee. And they are also judged on personality, introduction, sportswear, modeling, and formal wear. Babies all the way up to Miss Tennessee. Babies are judged on the same scale as women, and that is the reason we are coating our children in makeup and in order to make them beautiful. Women tend to go over the top whenever they choose to put their children in pageants, and they work them entirely too hard, which causes children to lose their childhood, essentially. And the reason they lose it is because they're forced to practice, and they spend their time doing beauty enhancements and fittings.
Oh, that's gracious.
According to Huffington Post, Christy, the mom of a 6-year-old toddlers in tiaras, Ashley, said, "We definitely have practice in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and usually until she just falls apart crying." What kind of mother is that? According to Tulane Law Review, many parents attempt to give their daughters an edge in the beauty department with enhancements like fake nails, spray tans, hair dye, permanent eyelashes, teeth whitening strips, eyebrow wax, and flippers, which are fake teeth or mouthpieces for little girls. These pageants are not a sport. These pageants are physically and psychologically harming our little girls. According to B&T Weekly, children who are competing in beauty pageants tend to experience higher body dissatisfaction during their adult life. I wonder why, because they're told from the age they're 3 months old that they're not beautiful and they need to coat what's actually there. According to Toddlers and Sierras, 7-year-old Morgan said that when she doesn't win, she feels guilty because it disappoints her mother. Children are taught that their outward appearance will gain them success. Martina Cartwright, a psychologist, explains that intense participation in activities that spotlight physical appearance instills ideas of physical and beauty superficial charm are keys to success, thus making self-worth and self-esteem tied to attractiveness. These little children are being changed from the outside. So how do we handle it? How do we eliminate the child pageants? First step, stop watching them on TV. Completely eliminate your support. Stop watching them and stop giving the mothers and the children the attention that TV ratings are giving them, because it's giving them more money and giving them more attention where they'll just keep doing it. The second way, stop attending the pageants. Stop supporting your friends' little girls in these pageants, because you're supporting the parents that are putting their children in this abuse. And thirdly, speak up. No voice equals support. So it's time to speak up. Don't tell your cousins or your friends that it's okay to put your children in pageants, because it's not. And do you think that just because your little girl isn't in a pageant and that it won't affect her? Wait till she comes home crying because her friend got a crown for her beauty and she feels ugly because she didn't get one. And then when we eliminate child pageants, self-esteem of little girls and women will shoot to the stars, because those little girls who aren't in pageants, they are stars as well. When we eliminate it, we can see no more spray tans and makeup on children, no more moms practicing children until they cry, no more moms telling girls that they're ugly. The children will get their childhood back. They will spend their time putting together their own creative outfits instead of standing on a stool having someone sew them something that the world thinks is beautiful. They'll encourage and support originality, and little girls will acknowledge true beauty versus plastic beauty. Women and girls will regain their self-worth because they can do anything that they want to. They are strong, intelligent little girls. Helping end child pageants will help us escape the worldly view of beauty and regain a healthy childhood such as this. I've told you about the problem of child pageants, so eliminating is simple. Stop supporting and speak up. What if it was your little girl that came home crying because a friend told her that she's ugly because she doesn't have a crown to prove her self-worth? Well, don't let the world control your daughter's self-esteem.